What's happening, folks? Today I'm waffling about the War Within, the new World of Warcraft expansion. So I've been playing WoW for my entire life since it came out pretty much, and this time I've leveled the Hunter first. It's level 80 and I've been really enjoying the expansion so far. I'm mainly a PvPer and I'm a casual battleground pub stomper, so the Marksmanship Hunter is always amazing because of the range and sniper shot and the kiting abilities and all the pets and stuff. So I just wanted to waffle my way through the first 50 videos that I got getting to level 80. So some of them are hours long, some of them are like 15 minutes long, some of them are 5 minutes long. So I thought I'd just like waffle my way through and talk about the good, talk about the bad in the War Within. So we'll start off with the questing and the intro. Overall, I really enjoyed it. There was a few bugs, a few clunky things that took me out of it, but I like how streamlined the questing was. I like how fast I could just power through the campaign and be done with it. They give you good gear and you're just not wandering around doing absolutely nothing thinking, what am I doing with my life? Because there's just so much time wasting that goes into this game. When I think back to Shadowlands, like run from A to B, then run to your Covenant, then run to Oribos, and there's no fast way of just, the time wasting of it all just nearly sent me under. So I'm appreciating the streamlinedness of all of the War Within. The zones were fantastic. The stories were much better. The quests were less janky. They did do the early access thing, which, can't lie, I don't like it. I hate the practice, but I see the advantage that comes from being early access, and I get paid to play the game anyway because of YouTube and TikTok. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I can get the clips early, blah, blah, blah. I'll make my money back. But yeah, the server issues feel like they've been better. I've had no issues really. Like the auction house has been a bit laggy. The epic battlegrounds can get a bit laggy. But overall, the server stability has been good. But I just hate splitting the launch party up. Like, I hate the separation of it all. I want us all to launch and be excited together. So, big thumbs down for it. But I am going to buy early access in the future. I've bought it this time, like, do you know what I mean? If I could play it 4 days earlier and get such a head start and just have a load of fun, I'm going to do that. So I do think it's insanely scummy that they split it up into two. But yeah, I'm not going to waffle too much about it. I've already talked about that. So I blasted through the zones. We have the Ringing Deeps, we have Zone 3 and Zone 4. What is it? So you've got Isle of Dawn. You've got the big crystal place, which is absolutely stunning, amazing just an amazing area. The Ringing Deeps with all the kobolds and the darkness, like, you don't take candle. I love it, it's amazing. And then the spider zone at the bottom, wow, like, it's probably going to be my least favourite zone when I was, like, hearing about it. But when I was there, when I was flying around and the scale of it all, and that whispering spider weaver lady from the main bit in there, whoa, mate, she's got a voice on her, hasn't she? So she had some tingles going, put it that way. So really enjoyed that zone. And then once you get to the end, the spoilers of the campaign for anyone listening who cares, you get the Xalatath cinematic. Like, I understand where all the silly feet memes were coming from on the WoW Circle Jerk subreddit. So what are they doing with that feet shot, mate, on the cinematic? Like, I genuinely burst out laughing when you just see her, like, dogs just on the middle of the screen framing the character. Like, it was just absolutely outrageous. But it's a funny meme. Yeah, she's a hottie, but God, like, I'd be absolutely creasing, mate. So what else? Once the campaign was done, I was like, wow, that was quick, and I'm not full of dread. Like, when I was doing all the other campaigns, Shadowlands especially, I'm just looking at the time, I'm looking at what I'm doing, I'm like, I'm not enjoying myself, I'm killing time, it's just dread, I feel dread. But with the War Within, the dread is at an absolute minimum. Maybe because it's the new expansion, fresh vibes, but genuinely, the whole thing is just faster and streamlined, and they're appreciating player time more than ever. So, love the direction they've gone in. The music is 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. I love the orchestra music that they've got playing. Like, Blizzard have always done amazing cinematics, they've always had amazing music, and they've always done amazing art. Like, the gameplay has been on and off, the stories have been on and off, but wow, I can't even remember the jingle right now, but the one of the main tunes, it's like 5 seconds long, like, you'll know what I'm on about. It's amazing. The violin, incredible. The loading screen as well, like, one of my favourite loading screens to date. I absolutely love it. I'll probably use it as a thumbnail for this video because it's so good. Anyway, I'm waffling so much, let's get a move on. So, I've gone through the first, like, 6 hours. That was, like, the campaign. I enjoyed it. It was fast. Then it was like, okay, let's explore the delves, let's explore Hunter, how's Beast Mastery doing, how's Survival doing, how's Marksmanship Hunter doing. So I just kind of like bounced between all those different specs while I was testing out these new delves and these new follower AI dungeons. Wow, amazing, I love it. So one of the biggest problems with WoW is getting a group of people together and actually going and doing the fun content. Like, organising groups is a pain. Dungeon Finder takes ages if you're not the right class or spec. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, there was a lot of hurdles in order to have fun. Now I can just load up, click a button, and I'm insta-joined into a dungeon with a tank that is most likely better because it's AI. You can just cast Misdirect on it and like set the dungeon up how you want. So I did like, let's have a look, 10 delves. I did 10 AI follower dungeons and 10 delves, and like literally I'm swapping specs, trying talents out like every 5 minutes. So I'm literally changing specs in the delves, in the dungeon, just to like experiment with everything, get used to my class, get used to my macros, get used to my keybinds, blah blah blah. So I absolutely love the flexibility they've given you with changing your talents wherever you want. It doesn't work in like proper Battlegrounds and Mythic Plus and that, but when you're like coming up, when you're relearning the game, when you're getting your muscle memory back, being able to just like, oh, I've joined this dungeon as Beastmaster, going down the steps, realising, you know what, Marksmanship would be well better, switching to Marksmanship, then flying across to a different part of the dungeon and you'd be like, actually, Beastmaster would be better here, I'm going to switch back to Beastmaster, and it's like, oh, you know what, I'm going to do some survival as well, why not? I absolutely love the flexibility of it all. So, you can only go up to level 3 on the delves, and you can upgrade Bran, so be doing that. Like, you're just getting like garbage in your bag that you've got to right click, and it gives him different spells and utility and stuff like that. So unfortunately you can only get to level 3, but it's basically Torghast. There's traps in there that'll one-shot you. I can see how it's going to get really difficult. So it's basically Torghast, but I'm enjoying it. It was fun. I'm looking forward to trying out the really hard stuff. Like, the high tier delves, they better be a good challenge where you have to use all your cooldowns, otherwise you die. Do you know what I mean? I want to be able to utilize all my class abilities to the fullest and get through it. If you don't use your abilities, I want you to like perish in there. So I want people to proper learn the classes, but we'll see how the higher tiers balance. So what else? One of the tiers, I put a note here, this was number 14, Delve Poison Works was an absolute shambles. It's where you have to hold some like totem, like Crystal Chronicles Final Fantasy, where if you're not carrying this totem, everything around you like slowly kills you because you're in like the poison. I don't think it's called Poison Works, I've just nicknamed it Poison Works because yeah, it can be a shambles if you're not carrying this totem, but whatever. And then I died to a Torghast trap in there, so just be careful because you do get like Torghast tricks all over the place in these delves. What else? So in terms of the dungeons, I've only played the first 4, the ones between 70 and 80. I will say the minecart one with the dweeb that's just blabbing on, honestly, I've only done that 2 or 3 times, but that absolute dork that keeps popping up, the grandchild of Bronzebeard, whatever, like, bro's a dweeb and he just does my head in, so I'm gonna be really annoyed by him by the end of the expansion. Hopefully I'll find a way to mute him, but he's like, actually, just shut up, mate. And then when you go to the minecart to like get a trip all the way back to the centre, Like, for me, the minecart was bugged out, so then I had to run all the way back to the centre. Imagine you're timing a key on Mythic, you've got this dork that's like, okay, so you're 25 runs in, you're trying to push key, you've heard this dork pipe up 15 times about whatever he keeps waffling about, then your minecart's bugging out, so you're burning time because you've got to run back to the main, like, entrance. Like, I like the vibe in there, but wow, it is going to be a terrible Mythic Plus dungeon. Anyway, Rookery is probably my other, like, second worst, because I hate when you have to do, like, weird hovering vertical stuff. So there's a part where you kill the first boss, which, I'm not going to lie, feels janky. Like, I don't like the way pets are handled when it comes to, like, weird flying bosses in raids and dungeons. So I was playing Beast Mastery first, and my pets were bugging out, they couldn't find pathing, blah, 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 whatever. It just looked scuffed, wasn't enjoyable for me. And then you have to jump down the hole, and then you have to, like, click onto these griffins and fly down this hole. The whole experience doesn't feel nice. Like, I don't like the way my camera's positioned, I don't like how janky it feels. So, Rookery's not a bad dungeon, but that scene, that, like, flying boss and the drop down, it just looks and feels ugly to me. That's my opinion, get over it. So the other two dungeons, really enjoyed them. I haven't played the ones you unlock at 80 yet. That'll be today's job. But you've got the, what is it? I can't even remember. Let me go through here. We've got Sacred Flame. That was an interesting dungeon. So what is it? Sacred Flame Priory. This was my first time joining a random dungeon. So my path was, I completed the campaign, I got to, like, 76, then I did a couple of delves, I did a couple of, like, AI follower dungeons, I got to 77, 78, then I was like, oh, do you know what, I'm done, I'm kind of bored now, like, I'm over the boring content wheel, like the hamster wheel of grinding, I want a bit of fun, I want some, like, challenging content. So I jumped in the Battlegrounds. Like, I'm a lifelong PvPer. I've always been pub stomping Battlegrounds as long as I can remember. So I was really looking forward to this, because the start of the expansion, you're all on an even footing. Well, early access. This is what I mean. It's just dog. Anyway, you're all on even footing, in quotes, so there's no, like, absolute sweat that just comes over and one-shots you. Well, I thought there wouldn't be anyway. Like, your gear's so quick now that the sweats have, like, a couple of games of just, like, absolutely dominating you. But, do you know what I mean? Like, you're getting a piece of gear every game now. So by the time you actually, like, have grinded the honor set, you don't want to just, like, I'm not going to say something bad, because in the old days, you'd have to smash your head against the wall for days and days and days while you farmed up gear just to be competitive against the sweats that are already better than you. Like, the whole thing has been backwards for so long. Like, the best players who play the most get the best gear, and then they gatekeep you from getting all the other gear and sweating it, because they're just sweats. So I like the way the gear upgrade system is now. Like, literally every game I'm getting, like, 1 or 2 pieces. If you win, you're getting close to 2 pieces a game. It's really, really fast, really, really good. Then you've got random weekly quests and all the different quests you can do to, like, get bonus spikes in honor. So I like how fast you gear up. I forgot what I was even waffling about before this. Oh yeah, the Priory of Sacred Flame. So I've been leveling via PvP Battlegrounds and by delves and campaigns. So for the last 2 levels, between 78 and 80, I've, like, powered through, like, 10 Battlegrounds. Then it was, like, late at night, so the Battleground queues weren't popping, and I was, like, maybe 4 bars away from dinging 80. So I was like, right, I'll just do a dungeon, I'll get 80, maybe the queues will be better at this time of night. So then I queue into the Sacred Flame Priory, and no lie, there's, like, some 70 paladin. I'm 79 at this point. I'm in full, like, campaign gear. I'm, like, pretty stacked. And there's this level 70 paladin that can just solo the entire dungeon. Like, he just one-shots mobs. Like, this is my, I'm about to ding 80 dungeon. Like, I'm I want a big dick DPS. Like, I want some satisfying 80 moment, like, boom, a tough dungeon, I'm doing all the sweaty DPS, and boom, I ding 80 at the end when I get the bonus. But no, it was such an anticlimactic, like, the most anticlimactic level 80 ding, or max level ding, I've ever had in the World of Warcraft. I literally go into this dungeon, the paladin's running around, pulling everything, he's taking no damage, I'm doing like the most pathetic amount of damage compared to him, so I'm just not even playing basically. It's like, you might as well not play, it's that rubbish and that boring. So I'm just following this paladin around for 10 minutes while he one-shots everything. It was the worst vibe killer ever. Like, I was like, I understand why people have made the raging videos already. If you're not like a PvP nerd like me, and you choose to just come on and sweat dungeons, and that's your dungeon experience between 70 and 80, honestly, it's embarrassing. Why is World of Warcraft so shit at times? Like, the PvP scaling, the scaling in general, it's just embarrassing. Like, I remember the scaling being fucked up in BFA. Why is the scaling still so shit? Like, what are you doing, honestly? Like, I'm not going to go too much into this because there's nothing more to say. It's been fucked for so long. Sort your fucking life out, mate. Anyway, rant over. It's embarrassing. Actually, while we're on it, fuck it, let's carry on. I'm getting a bit irate. But the epic battlegrounds are still fucking garbage, mate. Like, you go in, it lags out, nothing fucking works, nothing registers, it's just an absolute shit show for 30 minutes of your life, and if you're like, you know what, I don't want to partake in this, you get some 15-minute deserter buff. Like, bro, they've deserted the game mode. Like, you can't even play it, and then they have the audacity to slap the 15-minute deserter buff on you, and it's like, why have you made your epic battlegrounds your weekly quest on your first week where your server issues are always annoying? So you've put all the PvPers into the shittest playstyle, like whatever, the battleground, epic battlegrounds. You make some absolute lag fiesta, the scaling is dog shit, so Belinda one-shots you, every fucking ogre, every random AI and NPC one-shots you. It takes 55 minutes to kill the end boss in Isle of Conquest. You get one shot by everything. It's just absolute garbage, mate. Sort your lives out. Anyway, whatever. Game, whatever. Arena's amazing. PvP Battlegrounds are amazing. I can see what they're trying to do with Battleground Blitz. So, if I couldn't pub stomp Battlegrounds, I'd have already quit. Like, thankfully, your leveling system is really quick and fun. Your music and art is stunning. The gameplay at its core is really fun. And, like I say, Battleground and Arena, 10 out of 10. It's a great experience. But your epic Battlegrounds are a state. You should be embarrassed of yourselves that it's still like this. And then, while you're doing it, sort your leveling scaling up. Sort your dungeon scaling up. Just enough excuses. Stop being shit, mate. Anyway. Like, I got a bit aggy there, I can't lie. Let's move on. So, basically, I've just made little notes while I was, like, doing these recordings. So, there's 50 recordings to get me to max level full honor gear. So, like I say, the first 10 is all the zones. Then the next 10 is all the different AI follower dungeons, because I wanted to test what the AI followers would be like. Overall, the tank is a bit of a mong, but I'm a hunter, so you can use like misdirect on the tank and like get him to do what you want. But if you just like aspect to the cheater forward, pull a load of mobs, your tank, if you don't get aggro on that tank properly, it's just going to be an absolute mong and just run back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, doing absolutely nothing. So you need to make sure you find a way for that tank to tag aggro. Thankfully, misdirect is awesome. But when I did my first dungeon with it, I was just like watching this tank just run backwards and forwards while I died. I was like, get a grip, mate. The healers are good, the DPS are good, Bran was good throwing the potion heals out in the delves, so overall I'm happy with the healing, happy with the DPSers, whoa, like, the AI DPS bots, bro, they can chunk, sometimes they out DPS me when they like do the full burst combo, so I'm like, fair play, you've done good there. The only thing I'd say is make the tank a bit smarter, but that is 100% going to be the hardest thing to code, so I get it, I understand. But yeah, like I say, the tank is the only one that stood out as a bit shit. The professions, I've done mining and herbalism. I'm liking the random what's the nodes that are like crystallized. You've got different mini games on them. I like how many gathering resources there are. Like, you're literally getting called down to the floor like every 5 seconds because there's just something new. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it. I haven't dabbled much in the other professions, but the auction house has been a laggy nightmare. I'm not even bothered with it this time, so it's just really all the gold making side of this game. I used to adore it as a kid. Like, I'd level up my professions, I'd be on the auction house trying to make money, I'd be looking for shuffles to make a profit. I really enjoyed like gold making. But now you've got the WoW token, so everything is trivial. You've got bots that are all over the place, so you're competing against something that'll just never get tired. And the vibe's gone, mate. The gold making vibes are gone. Maybe it's because I'm older and I'm an adult and I can just appreciate money and time more. But honestly, I don't know what they can do. They need to get rid of the WoW token. They need to get rid of the bots. And that's just never going to happen, both of those things. So gold making is probably going to be broken for the rest of WoW's existence, let's be honest. And then the auction house is just a laggy nightmare. It's like the epic Battlegrounds all over again. Takes 5 minutes to post anything, 5 minutes to get anything, just another embarrassing auction house, whatever. It's always terrible, the auction house, but do you know what I mean? Just embarrassing. So what else? The PvP vendors are good. Like, I can't believe how fast I was gearing up. They're all just like in Donegal somewhere. I did a video, blah blah blah. Moving on. What else? We're getting towards the end now. I'm trying to see if there's any like annoying notes that I've made for myself. So the comp stomp, there was a lot of drama that early access gets the power level quick with these broken scaling dungeons. Then they get comp stomp at the end so they can gear up quick. So Blizzard have heard your cries and they've put comp stomp back. So I actually got one game in as Deep Wind Dunk, and it was really fun. It's like Deep Wind, what is it? Oh god, I'm so bad with the battleground names. It's like the Deep Hall Ravine. No, it won't be that one. Whatever. It's basically just a reworked map with like a crater that's taken out the middle, and you have to like collect these balls and like capture the flag, take them to the enemy base or something. It was fun. Like, the berserker buff in there was absolutely nuts. I was hitting people so hard with a berserker buff that they must have like buffed it more than it normally is. Like, it was so fun. I was literally like just one-shotting people all over the place. But then literally an hour later they've changed it back to comp stomp, so it's like, yeah, comp stomp is amazing for grinding honor. I can't take that away from yours. But wow, it is the most brain dead, boring thing I've ever done. Like, everyone just zugs into their Arathi Basin spawn basin and just kills them over and over again. It's like the most brain dead zug. And then doing that, hours in a row to get full honor gear. Like, God, go play a battleground and get good at the game, pal. Whatever. So basically, that's all I did. Like I say, the 79 to 80 ding was anticlimactic with like the broken scaling. And then, so let me just count how many I did. So on the 30th video, I dinged 80. Then I did 20 in total. I did 20 battlegrounds in total. And that got me full honor gear. So Deep Hall Ravine was broken for the first day. So you'd load into Deep Hall Ravine, the new one. And like, we had like 3 verse 1, then we had 3 verse 10, and then we had like 10 verse 10. But by the time 10 people loaded in, the game was over and we'd lost. But then the next day I did have a working version of that, so hopefully that's not a consistent bug that likes to pop up. When I was on Twin Peaks, I ran into some sweaty Russian battle groups. So you always get this where when you go in and the letters are all different, you know you're in for a painful time because they group up, they're all pre-made, they all work together, they're all sweaty, they win the first fight, and then they just camp you in the graveyard and just farm honor kills off you. It's the most boring experience in existence because whatever team you're on is just a bunch of random monkeys that can't like organize anything, so you just get farmed repeatedly. There's no competition, you can't make plays, there's just one giant laggy death ball that one-shots everyone. It's just a miserable experience. Like, if you've not had the pleasure of being in one, like, count yourself lucky. It'll happen in an epic battleground, or if you're really unlucky, like a random battleground. But wow, it is just a painful experience. Thankfully, I've only ran into one of those, but hopefully the game is so alive and active that they're few and far between. Do you know what I mean? sneaky Twin Peaks. So I had do you know what I mean? Out of all of these battlegrounds, I'd say I enjoyed 2/3 of them, which when it comes to the history of World of Warcraft is really, really good. Like, in the past, you'd be lucky to have a good game like every 3. And like I say, every 2 out of 3 games, I was having fun, I was pumping, they were slightly competitive, blah, blah, blah. And then the other thirds were matchmaking issues, you didn't have a healer, they were absolute Goomba stomps, Russian sweats, blah, blah, blah. So out of the 20 battlegrounds, yeah, do the maths, like 2 out of 3 were good. And then what else can I say? Once you get all your enchants, so I bought all my honor gear, and I was like, oh, I'll just have a nosy at the enchants, I'll see what I can get. Like, you're looking at 100k gold just to enchant your weapon, so not a chance, mate. Like, I've got better things to spend my gold on. So I just bought like the level 2 enchant for now. I miss out on like 40k burst, but it is what it is. Like, I'm sure everything will get cheaper after the first week, but for now, like, maybe chill out on wasting all your gold on the weapon enchants unless you're into that and you've got loads of dosh. What else? I've put here Isle of Conquest, trash as usual. I've put Trash Ran, epic BG bug scaling, terrible, worst experience ever. Altric Valley, Belinda's just one-shotting you. So we were winning. I joined late, as you do, in these epic battlegrounds. We were winning on reinforcements. Then it's like, oh, there's only like 100 reinforcements left. Why don't we just go kill Belinda? We rushed into Belinda, and she just like one-shots everyone. So then we brought the reinforcements down to like neck and neck. So then we just went out and we just started slaughtering Alliance again. It's just, why has nobody played it? Why is all these like game developers, I know they're underworked, I know they're understaffed, but how has not a single person gone into the epic battlegrounds and been like, actually, everything's fucked up in here, let's just tweak some numbers for the current eye level that we've like been adjusted to? Or why don't you make the eye level scale throughout the expansion, so at the start you don't get one shot, and at the end of the expansion everything isn't trivial? Like, imagine if stuff actually scaled to the eye level. Wow, amazing. Like, I can't believe no one's thought this before. Big brain. Like, sort it out, Blizzard. Stop being shit. Anyway, I know they're underworked, I know they're not paid to care, like, but I think that's it. I'm getting angry and waffly now, so I'll make some more guides. I'll make some like hunter specific guides. Those are the videos that seem to do well. You've got all the PvP clip compilations coming out. I'll probably put this audio over the big like 70 to 80 journey and full honor gear scaling journey or gearing journey. And that's it, yeah, I'm done for now. So go play Battle Babes. It's a free game I made on Steam. It's like a card game like Hearthstone. Support the channel. Love you all. Hasta la vista. Peace. Oh, leave a comment. What warband have you made? How are you finding the game in general? Blah, blah, blah. Share some thoughts. Love you.